actually one of my favorite topics to teach on because for me, this really, when I learned how to set proper expectations for my clients, this changed my entire business for me. So, do you have any issues with customer service issues with your clients, like where they have, different expectations than what you think they should be having?
Definitely, they have different expectations on how long it's supposed to take, getting their credit cleared, the steps that I take them through, and then what they see on Facebook, they're like, "Well, why can't you do the steps they're doing on Facebook to make it go quicker?" And I'm like, everything is that you see on Facebook, some of these things might not be legitimate. And of course, I might can call and say A, B, and C, but then it comes right back on your credit report. So who is it really
Yeah.
helping?
So I think like what a really good response to that would be, sure, I can totally do that. And then we can share a jail cell. Okay, you guys, I'm kidding.
Right. I mean,
That
like
might not be
I don't
good.
I don't want to go to
Right,
jail. So I'm like, who is this helping? Because I don't want to put
right,
my bond at risk or myself.
exactly. Vian is saying I'm not able to hear you. I think my audio is okay. Is everybody else able to hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. We can hear you fine.
So Vian, I think it might be your audio.
Good evening, everybody.
Hello.
Hi, how are you, Rosalind?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Okay. So let's kind of jump into it. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to go get my PowerPoint up here. Why I can never have it on the right screen, I just don't know.
Which screen?
I know I have so many screens, it's ridiculous. But the one that's in front of me that it should be showing is not showing. I don't quite get it.
Oh,
Let me try this. All right, now let's try it again. I'm not screen two. No, I just don't know. Well, we may just have to go with
well,
my,
I can bring it up. You want me to bring it up?
we may just have to go with the other screen because it's not cooperating at all. Let me try one more thing. Otherwise, I'll have you bring it up. All right, I think that worked.
Stephanie, could you let me in from another device, please?
Oh, there we go. We got it.
Thank you.
Can I what?
Could you let me in from another device? I'm trying to.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
sorry. There's a bunch of people that I was getting.
Kim will, what are you doing, Kim?
I'm trying to now.
Are
I
you
didn't
letting
see.
people
There was a
in?
whole bunch of people. I don't know what happened. Sorry.
Okay. All right.
Okay, I'm
Hi,
done. Thank you.
Jay. Okay. All right, guys. So let's jump into this. So so everybody can see my screen now, just the big screen, right? We're good?
Yes.
All right. So truly, this is definitely one of the things that I think changed my entire business for me is when you learn how to give proper expectations to your clients from the beginning, then you don't have a lot of customer service issues. Okay, so today, what our objectives are for today's class for you to actually learn, and everybody go look in the chat right now and download the workbook that we put in there for you. Go grab that. And then we're going to go over the workbook at the end. So that's for you so that you have something to write on. Just, save it to your computer or print it off, whatever you can do right now. So what I want you to learn today is how to set clear and realistic expectations for your clients and don't overpromise. Okay, when you're on the call, when you're trying to make that sale, you really need to avoid overpromising because that's what gets you in trouble right from the get-go. And we're going to learn how to keep your clients engaged with the credit action plans today. And we're going to help you learn to prevent them ghosting you. I mean, I don't know how many times I've had credit repair clients ghost me. Okay. They just disappear, they ghost, or they start complaining, when like, hey, why is my score not improving? And there's a million reasons why. And we're going to learn how to deal with that question too. And just have total proactive communication with your monthly updates. And I'm going to give you some ideas on how to do your monthly updates as well, so that you don't have you don't have your clients calling you. Because the last thing you want to happen is to have your clients calling you, right? We don't want that. We want you to be the first one making contact with your client before they actually start thinking like you're ignoring them. Okay. So expectations. So clients right now these days, what do they expect? They expect quick fixes and deletions. But why do they expect that? Because of the things they see on TikTok, on Facebook, right? They're watching all these things. They're on their social media and they're all promising, hey, we're going to do a 7-day or 4-day credit sweep and we're going to fix everything, blah, 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 blah. But we all know what they're doing, right? We all know that those credit sweeps are illegal. We all know that the credit sweeps are fake FTC fraud affidavits. What's the other one they're doing now besides the fraud affidavits for the people at risk people? I can't remember right off the top of my head, but so that's all happening online. So they're expecting this and they think it's okay because that's what they've been hearing. So you're just going to have to give them some reality, okay? And what they can truly expect. All right. So I just let people know, when they start telling me that on the phone, here's what I say. They're like, yeah, this person like saying like 7 days, I could have a brand new credit score, and blah, 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 blah. I say, well, I see you've been watching a lot of TikTok. I usually just make a joke out of it. And tell them that you can keep watching that TikTok because they're probably going to be in prison next year for doing this very thing. And I explain to them what they're actually doing so that they understand that it's not only going to get the credit repair person is going to get in trouble, but it's also going to get them in trouble. Okay. Because if they go in and they have somebody do this and they know what's going on, and then they go get a mortgage, that's called mortgage fraud. So there's a lot that goes into that. So I just explain it to them, and most people understand that and they're cool with that. Okay. You have to definitely, reset the narrative early in the process when you're talking to your clients. So that means right in your initial script. Okay. My script when I'm talking to a client, and I have a very definite script that I use when I am pitching my services to my clients. In my script, you will never, ever hear me say, I'm going to delete anything. Okay. And I'm going to give you my actual script that I use and have used for years and years and years. I've used the same script. I convert very high, 60 to 70% of everyone that I talk to. And I establish the boundaries super early, okay, in the credit repair process. So the way I go into it, my script is very simple. I ask them, hey, tell me a little bit about what's going on with your credit. And I let them talk. I let them tell me everything that's wrong. I let them explain to me why they need me. They don't really need my input, okay, for that. They just want to tell their story and I'm going to listen. All right. And as I listen, I'm going to pick up on little cues. And if I think they're a good candidate, I'm going to follow up with this. Okay, great. It sounds like you are a great candidate for credit repair. The way I do credit repair, we do it a little bit differently here. And the first thing that we do is a full credit evaluation where I go over everything with you on your credit report and I create a very detailed step-by-step action plan for you. Okay, I'm going to tell you exactly what you need and or what to do and how to do it in order to best benefit your credit score. I'm also going to do any rebuilding with you that's necessary. I'm going to make sure you have the proper amount of open accounts, the proper types of accounts, and that you're using them in the best way possible to maximize your credit score. I'm also going to send in any necessary disputes to the credit bureaus or directly to the creditors in conjunction with your action plan. Everything we do here has a very specific reason behind it. Most of our clients see anywhere from a 50 to a 200 point increase in their score as long as they follow their action plan. Okay, I'm very, very clear. I'm creating an action plan for them. If they follow it, they're going to get results. If they don't, they won't. Okay, it's super clear in my script and they understand that. And did you hear me in any way, shape, or form at any time say that I was going to get anything deleted on their credit report?
No.
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 I don't discuss deletions ever. Okay. My initial script and my initial conversation with that client, once then I tell them my price. I give them my exact price, how much it's going to cost. And then I just wait. I just sit there totally silent and I don't say another word until they talk. I don't care if a minute goes by. I just sit there. Usually what the next thing will be like, oh, okay, what's the next step? How do we move forward? And they want to know what to do. And I say, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and send you an agreement. And I'll send them an agreement to get started. And they fill that out and we go from there. But nowhere am I going to talk about quick fixes, deletions. What I did do was let them know we're going to make sure they have open accounts, right? That goes into expectations, right? Establishing new credit building habits. I'm going to set very clear goals for the clients when I do the action plan as well. Okay.
Stephanie, I do have a
Uh-huh.
question.
Sure.
Yes, and this question maybe for all the people here. Maybe I don't know how you are doing it. So do you have like a scheduled calls with your clients, maybe like a monthly calls? So or the Credit Butterfly platform, they give us like an update that it has been like 1 month since the last check with the clients or something like that, that maybe we don't get lost about like following up the client.
Yeah, so we're gonna get into that later on.
Right.
We're coming to that portion. It's coming up.
Okay.
So hang in there, Jay. All right. So setting the expectations at sign up, that's basically what we were just talking about, right? So it is important if they ask you questions to clarify, right, that results do vary and they take time. Most people want to know, one of the things most people ask during the when you are, selling your service is how long is it going to take? Okay. For me, the way I do credit repair, this is not for everybody. Some people do it differently. Some people take anywhere from like 4 to 6 months, maybe 9 months. I don't know. For me, I do it in 3 to 4 months. I have a very specific method that I follow when I do credit repair. I don't like long credit repair. I work with loan officers and real estate agents, so I do it fast. Okay, the faster I do it, the more leads I'm going to get from my agents and my loan officers. So 4 months is usually the maximum. And don't worry, like if you have a 6 month program, that's totally fine. And it's even fine to create an aftercare program for your clients. Okay. And we'll talk about that a little bit later too, where you can even charge them maybe from months 6 to 12 with an aftercare program that you can put together. There's a lot of ways you can do credit repair. You don't have to do it just one way. These are just some ideas for you. So never promise deletions, okay? It is not legal to promise deletions. Oh yeah, I can get that deleted. Well, don't say things like that. Don't ever say the word deletion in your conversation with clients because that's all they will hear. I promise you, it's all they will hear. You said you were going to get it deleted, right? And they will come back to you with that. Onboarding packets, intro videos, those are great things, right? To help set expectations and make them feel more cared about, like an intro video. Sure, I think that's an amazing idea. Years ago, like I think it was around 2010, I used to do intro videos. I did it on BombBomb. I don't know if any of you guys know BombBomb Video. It was a really popular video service at the time, and I would just create a video, a personalized video for the client when they started up. And I would just say, hey, I'm Stephanie, just wanted to welcome you to Andorra Credit Repair and just talk a little bit about, their particular situation. I was excited to be working with them. This was after I had my credit evaluation and I kind of knew what they were going to be doing. This was before I ever even put together credit action plans. That was really effective. Okay, to do a nice personalized, quick little personalized video. There's lots of ways to do that. You can use Loom. There's lots of little video things you can do where you can just send a nice personalized video to them. So just set the tone for them with a really clear roadmap. Okay. And that's really where, credit action plans and things like that come in, because then they are more invested, right? They feel more in control when they actually have things to do. Like for me, when I started doing personalized credit action plans in 2010, that's what changed everything. I used to get chargebacks, okay? I'm no different. From 2004 to 2010, we got chargebacks. We had ticked off clients. I mean, I can remember clients calling and screaming at me on the phone. I mean, it was just like horrible. We had like a customer service little nightmare going on. And part of that was because we didn't educate them enough. Okay. This was my learning curve. Right around 2010 is when my learning curve hit, and I started creating these different action plans and giving them different things to do, because then they started feeling more involved. Okay. They knew what to do because I would tell them, it's not that I changed anything, because I would tell them before, okay, you need to get a couple secured credit cards, you need to do this, you need to do that. And then 6 months later, we're still doing their credit repair. And they're like, how come my score hasn't gone up? And I'm like, well, did you get the 2 secured cards I asked you to get like 4 months ago? And they're like, well, you never told me that. You never told me to do that. And I would just happen over and over again. And we were running, I don't know, like 800 or 900 clients at a time back in the 2000s when we were doing this. And so, yeah, customer service was really out of control until I figured this out. So they definitely feel more in control, more invested. It shows them their tasks, okay? Especially like in our software, the way our software works, where we actually create those credit action plans upon import, the system creates it for you automatically. This is the game changer in the software for me. This is what the clients love. As long as you can get them to log into their portal, they can see their actions. They see exactly what their tasks are. They see if they need those secured credit cards. They see if they need a credit builder loan, and you're making money on those the whole time. So not only are you helping the client, but you're also improving your bottom line when they're showing up for your affiliate products, rather than just telling them, hey, go get a secured card. And maybe they go to their bank or somewhere and Capital One and they get a secured card and you don't get any type of payment for that. So that helps you and it helps them. Including all the tips, like telling them, like in the software, we tell them here, this is your utilization ratio currently. They can see it. It's 57%. It needs to be 30%. It tells them exactly what to pay. Pay X amount of dollars down on this, and they can be involved with that. They can just put in the amount that they paid and it will update automatically. So these are the things that help them feel invested. They get their secured cards, they get their credit builder loans, and their score starts to go up right away. So they get those quick wins. And when they get those quick wins, you win because now you don't have a mad client. Now you don't have a client going, why hasn't my score gone up? Because you gave them the tools necessary and the things they needed to do to actually bring their score up. Okay. And in our client portal and most other softwares, all CRMs are going to have this. The next review dates, like a task can be set up inside where they're going to be able to see in their client portal when is the next time that they're getting a review. When is the next, re-import of their credit report? When is, their next 15-minute scheduled meeting with you or however you do your business. And so that's very important. Okay. Monthly follow-up. So this is where you were talking about, Day. So monthly follow-ups are hugely important. This is what sets you apart from other credit repair companies. So if you do not touch base with your clients at least once a month on that monthly follow-up before they're calling you, you're going to have problems. Okay. You're going to keep yourself top of mind, okay, as long as you're contacting them. And I mean a phone call, either a phone call, a personal video, something like do a Loom video with their screenshot, just scroll around their action plan inside the software. All of the softwares have where it shows, results, where it shows, did he have deletions? What is your current credit score? How much did your credit score go up or down or whatever it might be? Don't be afraid, you guys, if the score goes down or something happens. Figure out why that happened and then do a Loom video and explain to your client why it happened. This will save your butt, okay? Because if you ignore it and just try to hope they don't notice that their score went down 20 points without explaining why that happened, and you need to understand why it happened. There's lots of reasons why it could have happened. Maybe their utilization went up 20% from the previous month. And you're like, hey, I just wanted to give you your monthly update. We got, one item deleted and it looks like your score went down about 20 points because your utilization went from, 29% to 49% from this month. So let's work on getting your utilization back down this month, and whatever it might be, or maybe there's an account you need them to settle or pay. But whether it be a good update or a not so good update them. Okay, this will save you. Always update them. All right. It definitely is going to make them trust you. All right. If you don't ignore or you are ghosting them. Otherwise, you will end up getting ghosted by your clients. If they'll just stop paying, they will cut their card off, they will lock that card, their payment will not go through, and they will start ghosting you if you're not communicating with them on the regular. Okay, so you need to put that into your plan. You can make it with emails, text messages, little videos, whatever it might be, you need to make sure you're contacting them in some way. And there's multiple ways to do it, and you can automate it.
Stephanie, at that point about contacting them either via mail, email, text, or whatever, so is there any automation for that? Because, let's say with one client, with two clients, it's fine if you do it manually, but later on, so automation, I think is going to be key for us to keep reminders, and also we can connect with them in, let's say, on a monthly basis.
Yeah, we're building some automations. We'll be building some inside of Credit Butterfly for you, or you can use your automations and your Go High Level to do the type of thing. Like there's a lot of ways to do that. To create automations for that. Okay.
Stephanie, I have a question.
Let's get through the rest of the
Okay.
you guys, and then I'll take questions at the end so that we don't run out of time. Okay.
Yes.
Does that work? Thanks, Linda. All right. So effective follow-up, right? So one of the ways to have effective follow-up is the automated monthly progress emails, right? You can automate those. Personalized text check-ins. Again, we can do this in Go High Level. You can automate that. Score tracker PDFs or screenshots. You can always take a screenshot of, hey, what their big score improvement was for the month right out of your CRM that you're using because they all show it. You can do it with screenshots, or you can do 15-minute review calls or Loom videos. Okay. Now, I personally, this is how I used to do it. And I used to send them a message inside the system. So I would go into my, like what in Credit Butterfly, what we call the snapshot, and I would go send a message to them. Hey, and I would send them the link to my calendar for their 15-minute review call. Say, hey, it's time for your monthly update on this date, and go here and schedule, your call with me. Sometimes they would schedule it, sometimes they would not. So if they didn't schedule it, I didn't worry about it. They knew they could schedule it. We'd give them a quick email or call or something like that. But most of the time they would just schedule it. We would do it. My updates take 5 minutes. Okay. 5 minutes for updates. Because when you create credit action plans, you flip the script. Okay. They're not questioning you about every little thing that you've done. You're just checking in with them to see how they're doing on their action plan. Okay, this is where you change the narrative. So you're in control of this conversation. And so for me, I'm like, hey, John, how's it going? It looks like your score went up about 15 points this month. Looks good. I see you still have not gotten your credit builder that we recommended that you get last month. Do you think you're going to be able to do that this month? And then he's going to answer me, yes, no, whatever it might be. And I'm like, great. That's really going to help your score out. If we can get that, it's going to give you a better mix of credit so that your score will improve. And then you also have one collection account that we have been working on for the last 3 months. It's definitely not coming off. It's time to settle it. Do you think you can settle that this month? Yay, nay, next month. Okay. And we're done. The call is over. I'm checking on him to make sure that he's doing what he needs to do. He's not asking me what I'm doing. Okay. So that's 15-minute, mine 5. I don't like 15 minutes. I like 5 minutes and I'm done. And just so you guys know, my beginning pitch that I gave you the script for, my entire consultation with any client is 5 to 7 minutes long from start to finish to agreement. To me sending the agreement. I do not review people's credit reports with them ever. I let them tell me. I listen for anything that they might be behind on something, and I make sure I qualify them. But I do not look at any credit reports until they have actually signed up for the program. So handling complaints. This took me a long time to learn. Back in the early 2000s, I'm kind of ashamed to say it, but I would just yell back at the customers. Like I was kind of hot tempered, and they would like call and yell at me, and I would just yell right back at them, and it's really not the way to handle it. It did not end well ever when I would just yell back. So I finally learned how to handle complaints and never have a problem. Whenever somebody calls me now and is yelling for some reason or upset, here's what I finally realized. This is not about me. It's whatever day they're having. They're going to take it out on me right now. They've just decided whatever's happening that day, they're irritated or they saw something they didn't like and they're going to take it out on me. Just let them talk. Let them yell. Let them get it all out. Let them say everything they have to say. Do not interrupt them in any way, shape, or form when they are venting what they're mad about. Let them finish 100% completely, and then just agree with them. This is what I've learned every single time. Usually it's something that you can solve in like 2 seconds. They're mad about something that's not even real, but you can't tell them it isn't real. Just let them finish. Then at the end, just say, you know what? I totally understand why you feel that way, but here is, what's going on. And then actually tell them what the real issue is, but let them finish and be calm. I never react. And usually I'm just acting like, oh yeah, well, you know what? We just need you to go ahead and get your secured credit cards, and your score will probably jump up about like 50 to 75 points if you did that. And then they're like, oh. So you just keep reiterating what you know to be true, and usually you have no issue. I can take somebody that's mad and yelling at me and have them calm in like no time at all, just by letting them yell themselves out. Right? Redirect, focus, to your current actions. I think we just talked about that. Be proactive, not reactive. That's definitely a good thing. Always be proactive. If you know something is going to go south, jump on it like right away. Don't wait for the client to come to you. And just, yeah, don't let anything get to you. Clients call and yell all the time. I mean, they just do. For some reason in the credit repair industry, like they just think it's okay to talk to you like trash. And I'm not sure why. But you can easily redirect them. All right. Next steps, staying consistent with your communication. I think that we went over that very clearly, right? Consistent communication. Always follow up each and every month. Make sure you send little text messages, little updates, send them a little message here and there. And you don't have to do that. You guys, you have your VA do it. If you have a team, have somebody that's your customer service that's doing this. Use your action plans and follow-ups with that to build trust and retention. When people get results, even if you didn't necessarily get all their stuff deleted, when people get results and they get big score increases just by doing the things they needed to do already that you directed them to do, they're still going to refer you. Okay, they're going to be, all they know is that their score went up 100 points and you had something to do with it because you told them what to do. So they're going to refer you to their friends. Okay. All right, now we have questions. Then we're going to go through the workbook, and we're going to have and do a little bit of Q&A where you guys will answer the workbook questions based on things we went over. So go ahead. Anybody that has questions. I think, Linda, we'll start with you because I know you had a question.
Okay, when you say the utilization score, is that normally due to credit cards? Like if their score goes down and because of their balance and stuff like that, is that normally due to credit cards, or can it be?
Correct. Yeah, utilization always refers to revolving credit accounts.
Okay.
How much do they have charged on their credit cards in relation to what their limits are? What specific expectations should be made clear to your clients when they sign up? What are 3 things that they should understand when they sign up?
What they have on their credit, and that you're not promising deletions.
Okay, that's one for sure. Not promising deletions.
Mm-hmm. Do their
action plan?
I would say that we
What
are going to.
expectations?
Okay, I would say that we are going to we're going to do a credit evaluation on their credit file, and then we're going to create like an action plan to see which are the best features or like secure cards or whatever like item which is useful for improving their credit, and then after that we are going to do the dispute portion of the program. I mean, yeah, to make sure to dispute, the things that need to be disputed on the credit file. I think those 3 things are basically what covers the program.
So, right, it covers, so one thing, so specific expectations, something would be like, how long does it take, right? How long does credit repair take? It takes time. So don't we want to give them that expectation? It's going to take some time. It's not a quick fix, right? So that's definitely one, right?
Right.
That another expectation that we can really set for them, and we need to get them to understand in the beginning before they start the program, would be their scores can change due to a lot of reasons, right? Not just disputes or deletions, right? By following, like what Dave was saying, by following that credit action plan, right? And Belinda was saying that too. By following that action plan, there's a lot of different ways your score can be improved. So that is a very clear expectation that you should set upon them actually signing up before they sign up. And participation, right? Participation is another expectation. Okay, that they are required to participate in your program in order to get the results that they're looking for. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yes.
Okay. So in the workbook, I want you guys to work on like a sample script for yourselves. Okay. That's what this workbook is for. So if you don't put these things into practice, when you come to these classes and you don't actually put these things into practice, you don't get what you need to get out of it. Okay. Implementing the ideas from these classes is what's going to help you in your business. So like an example script could be something like, okay, we work to dispute inaccurate and unverifiable items with the bureaus, but we can't guarantee any deletions, something like that. The bureaus are legally allowed 30 days to respond, and some items may require multiple rounds of disputes. Or you could include in there too, like, we also work with FCRA attorneys. So if you have any FCRA violations that we find throughout your process, we'll also send those over to our attorneys at no additional cost to you. Okay, things like that. So you want to come up with your own script that you can use with clients. And I say 100% you always use a script, guys. Always use a script. I use the exact same script. The script that I went over with you, I just said it because I've said it, I don't know how many times, for 15 years. I've used the same script. And scripts work because once you start getting your conversion rate, I know I'm going to convert X percentage of everybody I talk to using that script. I know it for a fact. All I have to do is follow my script, and I know I'm going to get a certain amount of conversion from that. Okay. So always, always use a script. Get one until it works for you and you're converting with it, and then never change it. Keep it.
Stephanie, go ahead.
So creating action plans. List 3 different items to include in your client's monthly credit action plan that you're going to give them. So you guys tell me, what would you include in an action plan for your client?
Decrease current utilization ratio. That's
the credit utilization.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's one
For
piece.
sure. That's one.
Yeah,
Let
that's the
somebody else
secured
answer
credit card,
too,
right?
Dave. What?
I'm sorry, that's the secured credit card, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Secured credit cards.
Yeah, credit builders, let's say, right?
Yep. Credit builders, secured credit cards.
There is another part that I don't know, Stephanie, for example, the Credit Butterfly platform, it shows the way to settle, let's say, 2 or 3 debts. So I haven't understood that part. So do I have to complete it, delete it? If we delete it, it's not going to get into the action plan, or how does it work?
So that's actually another thing that you could put in somebody's action plan for sure. Okay, is if you want them to pay or settle certain debts. But again, this is another class, but we're never going to have a client pay or settle something we don't know what will happen when they do it. We always know what's going to happen. When you do credit repair, when you get good at your craft, you know what's going to happen. If I tell a client to do something, I know the exact outcome. I'm not holding my breath and hoping it helps. Okay. I know the exact outcome that's going to happen when I tell them.
So would it be
Right.
better for those ones, I mean, to dispute them?
Again, it's different with everybody, and there's no way we
Got
can
it.
go into that on this class. Yeah.
Okay.
So what method, everybody, let's just kind of go around the room on this one. There's not that many of us. There's like 20 of us in the class right now. So tell me what method, just quickly, one method that you will use to follow up monthly with your clients. Rosalind, just one method, one thing.
I will use the call.
You would call them. Day?
Emails?
Yes, and then make sure that I don't spend more than
Follow-up
5
emails?
Nope, one thing, Rosalind, only one. Day,
Follow-up
what's your
emails?
emails?
Yeah.
Belinda, what's your one thing? What method will you use to follow up monthly? Belinda is doing something else. Linda?
I would probably do like a call and an email, and then maybe I don't know how it works yet because I haven't really looked at it. Can you put like notes in there for them at their
Yeah, one method, only one thing. What's one thing you would do, your top thing you would do?
email?
Email? Belinda? What's one method, only one way, one method will you use to follow up monthly with your clients to get the best results? You're on mute.
Can we do a voicemail?
I would do a phone call, 5-minute touch base phone call.
Okay.
Phone call.
Felicia?
I said a voicemail.
Voicemail? Carolyn?
Short video.
A video? Great. Jay?
Carolyn took mine. That's not fair. Short video and text.
All right, a video or text. Carl? Oh, you guys got to be quick. Brittany? You guys can just call them out because I can't tell who's there and who isn't.
Phone call. This is Denise.
All right.
This is Brenda. I would do text.
Text.
This Shamrika, I'll do a Loom video.
Loom video. All right.
Kelvin, informative email.
You would do what kind of email, Kelvin?
Just an informative email. I have
Informative
laryngitis. So
email. Got
yeah.
it. Who else we got? Everybody chime in. We have the shy people. All right. So most of you, so we had email, we had text, we had Loom video, we had phone call, we had a lot of things. So I'm going to tell you, from my experience, the most effective monthly follow-up is going to be a phone call and a video.
Yep.
Okay. Always. Just texting or emailing, you could get a little, they want to hear your voice, even if it's like Belinda said, for 5 minutes. Okay. I do only 5-minute calls. They're literally sometimes 2. I mean, they are so short. But have someone do it. You will have much better results with your client by doing that. All right, so let's just see if we covered everything. So that's the method. So, yep, everybody. So we have automated monthly emails, text messages, monthly progress snapshots, Loom videos. All of those things are great. And the more of those you can do, the better. Okay. Here's like just an example. So in the workbook, we put in here for you to make your own check-in message or email, even if it's a voicemail. Sometimes even a voicemail is fine, you guys. Like, hi, just a quick update. We've submitted round 2 disputes to Experian and TransUnion. Let me know if you have any questions. Don't forget to keep your card balances low this month. It looks like your utilization ratio went up like 10 or 20 points this month, whatever it might be. That's the biggest factor in boosting your score right now. Okay, something like that. Just something short and sweet, just so they understand you actually looked at their file, something personal about their file, and that will be a game changer for you. And it'll keep people engaged with your process. Okay, handling tough conversations. How would you respond to a client who says, "Why hasn't my score gone up?" So let's hear from you guys. How would you respond if they're saying to you, "Hey, why hasn't my score gone up?" What would you do?
I wish you a cake.
You do what?
Just listen to them and let them share the information they have, and just stay calm. Let them
Right.
share the information from their side, like.
Yeah, so this isn't really an angry client. This is more of a client that just is wondering, "Hey, why did my score not improve? I've been here now for 45 days. My score is no different than it was in the beginning." So showing empathy, that's for definitely for one, right?
I would
Start by
say,
showing
I would say,
empathy.
of course, showing empathy and say the credit score depends on many factors. So let's review if we have taken action on the plan that we set up initially. So let's see, for example, we have follow up all the items that we discussed at the beginning, because those are really main factors which are going to determine how the credit score is going to increase. I'll say that.
Right. And sometimes you can give very specific examples too. You can let them know, look, deletions don't always cause immediate score boosts too. You can, even though you get 2 or 3 deletions, they may be really old accounts that got deleted, and it might not affect your credit very much, but you getting that secured credit card we talked about last month will improve your score substantially, because right now you have no revolving accounts. So if you were to get your secured card that we talked about, that would probably give you the boost that you're looking for. Okay, so you have to turn it back to their plan and make sure that they're following the plan.
So,
And
Stephanie,
utilization, maybe you could say something like, "Well, your score hasn't gone up because your utilization started at 10% and now it's 69%, right?" And so that's why your score has either went down or has not gone up.
So Stephanie, since at the beginning you set a goal, a clear goal with your clients, that means you was able to make your clients understand his own part of the job, his own participation. And then you also make the client understand what will be your part of the job. So,
Exactly.
okay, if the score is not going up and you check and see that, oh, the client has not been doing what you have requested to be done, then at this time you go back to say, "Hey, yes, your score has not been going up, but remember, this is what I asked you to do. So I would like you to really follow this step for us to reach that goal."
Yeah,
And then you
exactly.
explain, yes, everything that you found that the client did not follow, you say, "Hey, remember, I asked you to do this. When it comes to your credit card, I say do not cross the 30%. Your utilization is above the requirement. Trying to work on that and bring it down. Hey, I asked you to, if you can settle this debt collection, or you haven't done it yet. I asked you to apply for a secure credit card. You didn't do that yet. So let's work and getting all those things done, and from there we'll see how your credit look like."
Right, exactly. So, like a short script for that might be something like, "I understand your frustration. Credit scores can take time to reflect changes, even after successful deletions. Let's review what's been done so far and what your next steps are to keep the momentum going." Right? Something like that. And you guys write your own script that you feel comfortable with to respond when they say something like that. but have something like set so that you're not stuck like trying to figure out what to say when they're asking you these questions.
Stephanie,
So, uh-huh.
this is Felicia.
Hi, Felicia.
Hey, so as far as that goes, like when they ask why their credit score isn't going up or their credit score went down, another thing you could do too was probably make sure that they're not going out and applying for stuff, because I had a client that did that, and then he called me and say, why am I seeing my credit score went down? And I just asked, are you applying for stuff? And sure enough, he had gone out and tried to get a car.
Yeah.
So, I just said, well, that's what it is. You
exactly
doing stuff that you're not supposed to be doing. So they shouldn't be doing anything while their credit process is going on.
Exactly. You hit the nail on the head, Felicia. That's really all you have to do is you have to know what's going on in their file so you can give them that kind of answer, because once you do, they're like, oh, okay, I didn't realize that. Right? You just cut it off. Like there's no issue after that, because now they know what happened. They know exactly why their score hasn't gone up, and now they can move forward. I don't fire people, just so you guys know. Like I see all these people going, oh, I fired a client for doing something different. Well, I don't fire them. Why would I fire them? If you want to pay me and go do dumb things, and I'm going to explain to you every month why your score didn't go up, go ahead. Pay me. I'm still going to do my part, and we'll get your score up one way or the other. But yeah, you don't need to fire clients for going out and doing things they shouldn't be doing, as long as they're trying. So, all right, well, it's exactly 5 o'clock my time. So we do like to end these calls on time, to respect everybody's time. So I appreciate everybody that came tonight, and I will see you guys next week.